Ho, 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 and welcome to this Christmas-themed episode of The Adam Kiss Show. Today we're going to be going through some holiday favorites, some of my absolute favorite Christmas and holiday season movies of all time. I'm really excited about this. I absolutely love the holiday season. I think it's cliche, but it really is the most wonderful time of the year. So without further ado, let's get right into it. And I'm dressed, as you can see, in Christmas red and with some decorations behind me in the room. So I hope that I'm festive enough for all of you, and can't wait to get right into it. Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! Well, it's actually November right now. It's not even Thanksgiving, but for me, in my heart, it's already Christmas. I absolutely love the holiday season. Everybody who knows me knows that I obviously love summer. I love the warm weather. I love beautiful weather. But when we get into fall and winter, I really look forward to the Christmas season, to the whole thing, to Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. I think it's really such a wonderful holiday for being thankful, for gathering with those you love. And it's really just a wonderful time for humanity to kind of take a break from the world, focus on what's important for a little while. So in that spirit, I wanted to do a special episode talking about some of my favorite Christmas movies. I talk so much about films, movies, art in general, that I just figured, since it may be a little bit early, but I might as well already, I just can't contain my excitement, and I would love to talk about some Christmas movies. So in no particular order, one Christmas movie that I happen to love is The Bishop's Wife, starring Cary Grant and Loretta Young. It's an incredible Christmas movie. I don't think it gets enough credit. Cary Grant plays an angel in that movie. David Niven plays a kind of a miserly bishop type. And it's really about that. And David Niven's wife is played by Loretta Young, hence the title, The Bishop's Wife. Interestingly enough, Cary Grant was originally supposed to play the role of the bishop in the movie, and David Niven was supposed to play the angel. But before filming began, I believe Cary Grant decided he wanted the angel part. I mean, who wouldn't, right? And so they switched, and David Niven actually wasn't too happy about that. I don't believe he wanted to play the part of the bishop because it was a little bit more of a thankless role. He ends up, being a very major character in the production, and his emotional arc and his character arc are really central to the story. But he's not the most sympathetic character, particularly at the beginning. So that's a funny little anecdote about that. It's really a magical movie. I've seen it a couple times. I haven't seen it in many years, but it definitely is stuck in my mind. And another movie that I haven't seen in very many years, not since I was a kid, but that I always remember and really left a big mark on me, so it must be worth remembering, is A Christmas Carol from 1951. There have been so many versions, but again, I've seen a couple of the versions, some more modern and some older. I've seen the one from 38, I believe. I've seen, obviously, the 51 one that we're talking about. And then I've seen some later ones as well. There have been so many. It's really a classic story. I believe Charles Dickens wrote it in a very short time, within maybe 40 days or so, the original book, which is a great book, by the way. I've read the book as well. I recommend it to everyone. It's really just a classic Christmas book. As a matter of fact, it's credited with bringing back Christmas as a major holiday. Certainly Christmas was always a holiday for Christians, but before that, Easter was probably a bigger holiday, and I think starting around then, the tide started turning, and while Easter may be technically a bigger holiday, Christmas is probably the bigger holiday these days. So anyway, The Christmas Carol, it's funny that often those movies that you haven't seen in a while, they grow fonder in your mind, like the saying, absence makes the heart grow fonder. Well, it's true with movies, and I believe that even Christopher Nolan mentioned that there's certain movies, like he particularly likes the James Bond movie, The Spy Who Loved Me, as do I, and he was inspired by that with the movie Tenet, but he said in an interview that he tries not to rewatch it too often so that the magic isn't lost in that movie, and I totally agree with that. Obviously, scarcity is definitely makes the heart grow fonder. If you have something every day, you maybe don't appreciate it as much. And that's just true for everything, and there's really nothing we can do about that. But getting back to the topic, so A Christmas Carol from 1951, that's with Alastair Sim. It's in black and white. And it just struck me as a very simple, very good adaptation of that story. In particular, of the ones I've seen, it's definitely my favorite. And A Christmas Carol is definitely a holiday classic tale, so it definitely has to be included in any Christmas movie list. So next on my list, I would say both Home Alone 1 and 2. Now, obviously, of the two, I would say I prefer Home Alone 1. I think it's an incredible movie. But I think that Home Alone 2 is also a great movie. It's one of those rare cases where I really like the sequel. I mean, the interesting thing is that for the sequel, they decided to basically make the same movie again and just set it in New York. And you'd think that maybe that's not the most creative thing, but in this case, I think it really works, especially because I feel that oftentimes sequels go off track when they try to totally change things up or totally do something different. I mean, there's a fine line. You don't want to see the exact same things all the time, but you also don't want to see something totally different if it's a sequel, and maybe you'll be disappointed. So again, it's a fine line. I think in this case, they made the right choice. John Hughes is definitely an incredible screenwriter, certainly a screenwriter I admire. He was also a very fast screenwriter. I've heard stories about that, so I relate to him in that way. And yeah, I mean, the really classic Christmas movies, the Home Alone movies, both 1 and 2, I would say. I actually haven't seen any of the other sequels they've done. I believe they've done more, but I've only seen 1 and 2, and I like them both. I mean, Home Alone 1 is an absolute classic. I remember as a kid I used to watch it every Christmas, definitely every Christmas season. It was kind of a tradition. And it's just a really relatable, fun movie. I mean, sometimes, you know, a movie doesn't have to be Persona or The Seventh Seal to be a great movie. It doesn't have to be necessarily extremely intellectually complex or, you know, innovative or anything. If it's just a great story, very entertaining, that's what I call a great movie. All right, so next on the list, I would say The Lion in Winter. Now, this is maybe one that wouldn't make many Christmas best Christmas movies lists because it's not an obvious choice. It's set during Christmas. It's about Henry II of England and his reign, I believe Henry II. And the interesting thing is that Peter O'Toole, that was the second time he played the character. He played a much older version of the character in The Lion in Winter, but he played the young version of Henry II in the movie Becket with Richard Burton, which is also an absolutely incredible movie, though I can't necessarily call it a Christmas movie. So I don't have an excuse to talk about it today. But anyway, so The Lion in the Winter is an absolutely incredible movie. I mentioned it's with Peter O'Toole, Katharine Hepburn, also Anthony Hopkins when he was a young actor, and I believe Timothy Dalton also plays the French king, I believe. Either the French Dauphin or the French king. No, I believe he is the recently crowned King of France in that movie. He plays a very young King of France who's trying to deal with the King of England during the Christmas season. And again, it's set during the Christmas season. It's about a family, so really take away the time period and it could be about really any family's power dynamic, all the typical family things. It's essentially a family story and not a period piece. It's definitely deeply relatable and certainly one of my favorite Christmas movies of all time. What else? I would say White Christmas with Bing Crosby, and I believe Danny Kaye was in that as well. I think it's a great Christmas movie. It's a great classic. It obviously includes that classic tune, White Christmas, sung by Bing Crosby. I mean, Bing Crosby is, I guess, Mr. Christmas, honestly. He's done so many classic Christmas movies, Christmas songs. I've seen so many of them, heard so many of them. I mean, what would Christmas be without Bing Crosby? That's my question to all of you. He did that classic song, which I've sung several times in the past, I'll Be Home for Christmas. He originated that. He originated White Christmas. He sang so many Christmas pieces over the year. I mean, if you ever have to get into the Christmas spirit, just listen to Bing Crosby, right? Yeah, I mean, I absolutely love a lot of those movies. And White Christmas is really just one of those, it's again one of those movies that I haven't seen in a while, but it's left an impression on me. I saw it for the first time as a kid on TV, and I've loved it ever since. I've seen it a few times since then. And it's one of those movies, just an all-around great family Christmas movie. I mean, there's so many other cliche favorites that I could go with. A lot of people would say It's a Wonderful Life, which I absolutely love the movie. Interestingly enough, it wasn't originally necessarily conceived as a Christmas movie, I don't believe. Necessarily, I don't believe it was released during Christmas at all. It was really only afterwards that it gained its legacy as a Christmas classic. Again, it's not one of my personal favorite movies, but I do like the movie. And I've obviously seen it, and I think it's great for what it is. Again, it's probably not one of my personal favorites. People also like other classics like Elf. Again, I've seen it, think it's great. Probably not on my top list. And another movie would be Love Actually, is called a Christmas classic. And again, these are all movies that would be the obvious choices. I love them all, just probably wouldn't be my absolute favorites of all time. But absolutely respect them for what they are. And they are absolutely Christmas classics, and they deserve to be so. So what else? I mean, a lot of people consider Die Hard a Christmas movie. There's definitely a big debate on that. Curious to hear all of your comments on whether Die Hard is a Christmas movie or not. I'm a little bit split on that. I don't know. I mean, certainly it's set during Christmas. It has some Christmas spirit in there, and it's an action movie. So it's essentially an action movie set during Christmas time. So I suppose it is a Christmas movie. A lot of people seem to think so. And certainly the original one is great for what it is. And yeah, I mean, in terms of some of my favorite Christmas movies, I would say that's a good place to start. So absolutely check those out. I think they're great. They've definitely been some of my personal favorites. And I'm curious to hear what some of your favorite Christmas movies are. So definitely let me know in the comments. Definitely like, subscribe, make a comment below. Tell me what other videos you'd like me to do. And very excited for the Christmas season coming up and for the holiday season for all of you. Looking forward to the new year, 2024. I can't believe it's going to be 2024 soon. And can't believe it's going to be Thanksgiving coming up for me now. And then Christmas and New Year's. Time really flies, as they say. So thanks so much for tuning in to this list of my favorite Christmas movies. And see you next time. Bye, everyone. Well, here we are again. This is my mom, Christina Kiss, and she absolutely loves Christmas. We're already testing out the Christmas decorations, as you can see behind us.
Yes, we just wanted to see if they blow up, because year after year they lose a little power.
Yeah.
So this was our test run.
Yeah.
And then we're going to do a baking run also before Christmas, so that will be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. And tell me all the things you love to bake for Christmas, because I know firsthand she's the best baker in the entire world. Best cook and best baker in the world.
Wow.
I challenge anyone to challenge that statement.
Thank you so much. Well, my favorite is cheesecake. And, I'm really very much up to the professional quality. And I make a lot of truffles. Like, those are my favorite, my chocolate truffles. I get a lot of compliments on that.
Definitely.
And then I make a lot of Hungarian desserts, like, for example, zserbo, which is a very traditional Christmas dessert with a lot of walnuts, a lot of apricot jams. And then bagli, which is like kind of a rolled strudel kind of dessert, a lot of times with poppy seeds or with walnuts in the middle, or sometimes even chestnuts.
My mouth is watering already.
Mine too.
No, I mean, that's why you love Christmas, right?
Yes,
the Christmas
I
time of year. And also, the way we decorate the house, it's like you've never seen anything like it.
It's like magic Christmas.
Yeah, it's like a Christmas village. We'll give you a tour of that once it happens, but it's absolutely incredible. And you do most of that. I decorate the Christmas tree itself.
Well, whenever I need some height, that's you.
Yes.
The rest of it I do, like the Christmas villages,
Exactly.
And both of our pianos, grand pianos, and it looks so fantastic.
And I love that that's kind of a tradition that you've always passed along. We've always done more and more decorations.
Yeah, every year we get at least one new decoration. It might be a ceramic house that lights up, or it might be one of those things, ornaments that we hang up on the tree.
I would say we get both every year.
We get both, that's absolutely right.
We definitely get
so fantastic.
More Christmas houses, more ornaments, and it's great, to have the dates on them, to look back. And it's really a great memory, so thanks for all of that.
Absolutely. You're very welcome.
And thank you, everyone. We're very excited for the holiday season, and would love to hear all your thoughts and how excited you are.
So happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays, and happy 2024. I can't believe it's almost 2024.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's really creeping up on us.
It really is. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.